Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to the Grey Zone with Ali Manzoor, a show where we challenge assumptions, stereotypes, viewpoints on various complex issues, and hopefully foster critical thinking. Lately, there's been a lot of headlines about the Strait of Hormuz, so I thought let's do a show to discuss this region and the various countries associated with this region, and also discuss the various kinds of toll tax that we've had at various sea routes in the history. So let's jump into the show. Let's start with a satellite view of the Strait of Hormuz. If you look at it, it's 33 kilometers wide at its narrowest point. Shipping lanes are just 3 kilometers wide in each direction. Roughly 20% of global oil trade, or between 17 to 21 million barrels of crude oil per day, pass through this narrow corridor prior to the tensions. One side is the Persian Gulf, and the other side is the Gulf of Oman. Let's review the countries bordering and directly influenced by the strait. On the left, we have Oman. Oman is broken into two non-continuous territories: the mainline southern territory on the Gulf of Oman side, and the Musandam Peninsula, which lies between the Gulf of Oman and the Persian Gulf. Further down on the left, we have UAE, which is known as the United Arab Emirates. We have Qatar. We have Bahrain, we have Kuwait, we have Saudi Arabia. On the right, we have Iran. Further down, we have Iraq. Let's start with Iran, a population of 93 million people. It controls the northern coastline with these ports. Khorramshahr Port, it's a river and sea port for general cargo. Bandar Imam Khomeini Port, which handles bulk cargo. Mashhad Port, located near Imam Khomeini Port and is used for petrochemical export. Bush Airport specializes in oil trade and general cargo. Asaluya Port specializes in gas and petrochemicals. This is also the gateway to South Pars gas field, the world's largest natural gas reserve. Fag Island Terminal controls 90% of Iran's crude oil exports. Having covered the right, let's come to the left. Oman, broken into two geographically separated territories, a population of almost 5.6 million people with roughly 44% expats. Oman controls the southern access via the Musandam Peninsula, which is in between the two gulfs, and this small port is catering to cruise ships, ferries, and traditional dhows. The UAE, or United Arab Emirates, comprises of 7 emirates: Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, Ras Al Khaimah, Fujairah, Ajman, Al Quwain. UAE has a population of 11.5 million with almost 80% foreign residents from over 200 countries. The ports of UAE. There's Jebel Ali Port Dubai, the largest port of Middle East and the largest man-made harbour in the world. Port Rashid Dubai specializes in cruise and cargo. Khalifa Port, Abu Dhabi, it's a container hub. Zayed Port, Abu Dhabi, commercial and cruise port. Das Island Terminal is offshore export. Port Khalid, Sharjah. Hamriya Port, Sharjah, for bulk and industrial cargo. Mina Sakar Port, Ras Al Khaimah, caters to cement and bulk cargo. Ajman Port, Ajman, caters to regional trade. Al Quwain is a small commercial port. There are also 2 ports on the Gulf of Oman side, the port of Fujairah and the Fujairah Oil Terminal. Qatar, population of 3.36 million people approximately, and about 88% expats. The ports: Hamad Port, which caters to general cargo; Ras Laffan Port, which is a deep water port for LNG exports; Doha Port, which is a major hub for cruise and tourism; Misayyad Port handles petrochemicals and crude oil; Al Rawais Port for cargo and refrigerated food, and they also have offshore terminals like Al Shaheen Oil Terminal, Al Rayyan Marine Terminal, and Halul Island Port. Bahrain, almost 1.6 million people with 50% expats. The ports: Khalifa bin Salman Port handling containerized cargo, Mina Salman Port handles custom clearance, etc. Sitra Port for oil and gas, and Port of Muharraq, which is a leisure and tourism port. Kuwait, A population of 5.1 million with 68% expats. The ports: Shuaif Port, which is a cargo port; Port of Shuaiba, which is an industrial port catering to an industrial area; Doha Port, a small port for trade with neighboring countries. They also have two oil terminals, Mina Al Ahmadi for crude oil and Mina Al Abdullah for oil products and petrochemicals. Iraq, a population of 47 million people, a largely landlocked country with only 58 kilometers of coastline on the Persian Gulf side. Their ports: Khor al Zubair, it's a port catering to gas; Abu Flus Port, located west bank of Shatt al Arab River and caters to general cargo. Qasr is a deep water port. They also have specialized offshore oil terminals. They have Al Basra Oil Terminal and Khor al Amaya Oil Terminal. Saudi Arabia, or also known as Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Population: 35 million with 44% expats. The ports on the Persian Gulf side: King Abdulaziz Port Dammam, it's a dry bulk and specialized cargo port. Al Jubail Commercial Seaport handles general cargo. King Fahad Industrial Seaport is the largest industrial port of the Middle East. Ras Al Khair is an industrial port. They also have specialized ports like Ras Tanura Refinery and Ras Misab Port. However, Saudi Arabia has the advantage of 7 ports on the Red Sea side that also handles 75% of the trade. So, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is not directly impacted by the Strait of Hormuz right now. So we do know that 20% of the global crude oil passes through the strait. So let's review how much each country is exporting. Oil is usually measured in million barrels per day. So let's look at the capacity of export for each country. Saudi Arabia was exporting about 10 to 11 million barrels per day of crude oil. Iran, 3 to 4 million barrels of crude oil per day. UAE was exporting again 3 to 4 million barrels of crude oil per day. Iraq, 4 to 5 million barrels of crude oil per day. Kuwait, 2.5 to 3 million barrels of crude oil per day. Qatar was exporting under 1.5 million barrels of crude oil per day. However, Qatar is a gas giant. Oman, under 1 million crude oil barrels per day. Bahrain, 0.18 million crude oil barrels per day of export. So along with the blockage of the Strait of Hormuz, there's also been a massive talk of toll taxes that Iran has been arguing and other countries have been arguing that they should impose along the Strait of Hormuz. So I thought let's do a review of some of the history of toll taxes along sea routes. So let's go into it. First off, ancient Egypt and early canal tolls, which was around 600 BC, which was linking the Nile to the Red Sea. There was trade of grain, gold, spices, and there was custom duty on cargo. Roman Empire trade tariffs, the Mediterranean and Red Sea, had a toll on all sorts of import and export, and this was between 30 BC and 166 AD, and it ranged from 2% to 25%. Ottoman control of east-west trade between 1453 to 1800s. This was post-capture of Constantinople's Silk Road and the Mediterranean choke points. The tolls included port duties and even transit tariffs. The Venetian Maritime toll between 1200 to 1500 AD. The Republic of Venice dominated Mediterranean trade and they controlled shipping lanes and ports. The tolls included port access fees and even taxes on spices. The Strait of Malacca. There were tribute and piracy tolls. This was between the 1400s to the 1800s. Included informal tolls called tribute and pirate extortion, or what we would today call protection money. The Barbary piracy tolls, which was between 1500s to early 1800s, and this included North African states, Tripoli, Algiers, Tunis, and the type of tolls were protection payments and even ransoms. The Danish Sound Toll 1429 to 1857. Denmark controlled the Baltic Sea. The type of toll that they had imposed was mandatory toll on all passing ships. The Panama Canal. 1914 to present day. This connects the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean. The toll type is based on the size of the ship, the cargo types, and sometimes it exceeds over $300,000 per vessel. The Suez Canal, which is from 1869 to present day, and the type of toll is for every ship passing, and it is generating almost 10 billion US dollars in revenue annually. So this macro view episode was a roundup of the Suez Canal and the various history of various tolls around sea routes. Let us pray and hope for peace and prosperity around the world. We'll be back next week, inshallah, with another episode. Until then, stay curious, stay critical, and keep asking questions. Because between the black and the white lies the grey.